Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We got to talk about it. You see the title? Come on in if you understand the title. Share the video. We got to really get down to the bottom of this one because I'm having a difficult time. We're having a difficult time really trying to fully appreciate the moment because of the past. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming through. If anybody wants to join the panel or come up and talk about what they may have observed and listened and heard and how they accept and how they understand it all. How do they break it all down? I mean, are we talking about a people who escaped a cult and an abusive cult leader? Or are we talking about a people who just are leaving a group after their leader got jailed? Ladies and gentlemen, hello, this is Mind Over Matter. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me know in the chat if anybody's in the building. If you've seen recent events in the midst of a criminal case against Nature Boy for rape. Shout out to Janae. But we've got more testimony. We've got the testimony now of KENDRA and Aaron, formerly known as SHEEBA and TRU, who have been in the spiritual universe for some time. They've been in the spiritual realm of things and the consciousness, spent a lot of their time, the last 5 years at least, online spewing nonsense and pretty much chanting down everybody in Babylon and hating on everybody. For years online, spreading crap. They were committing spiritual crimes online. So it's difficult. I see we're now being introduced to Aaron and KENDRA, but damn, the weight. You know how heavy spiritually the weight of SHEEBA and TRU are? We're not talking about people who were abused by Nature Boy. This is not SHEEBA's story. We're not talking about TRU admitting anything about being abused by Nature Boy. This is not his story. After all, he's a military guy, which might make you wonder, okay, how can a military dude end up sort of the footstool of a gay escort of 10 years? How can you go from being sort of a leader and a defender of the US of A to a general, to the right-hand man of a gay stripper of 10 years, a fake, a false prophet? Let us remember, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Miss Chocolate Divine. I'm doing good. Malone 410, what's up? Loyalty Zakai, hello. Sun Fruit. Let's talk about it for a second here. We're talking about some sort of a spiritual violation for years, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why it's difficult in some instances to really get to the bottom of this, to really understand. I mean, I've seen some people sort of call this coming out of the carbonation closet as cowardly, as convenient type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, did they escape an abusive cult leader, or did they leave a cult led by a leader that just got thrown in jail and there's no way of telling when he's going to get out? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Marwan. Bro God. Yeah. What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing here tonight? The universe has been experiencing SHEEBA and TRU as generals of this carbonation, as right-hand man, as the as the ones that will never really talk back. The ones who were basically, you know, you don't got to tell them to do anything. They know to do it already. They don't necessarily need to go ask Nature Boy all the time. They just do it. And it's important to note, ladies and gentlemen, neither of these people has ever left Carbonation. They've been there the whole time. They never left, really. They never left, never really rebelled. They probably were known as taking the knowledge. They took the knowledge and they walked it, I guess, in their little way. But it's something to consider, when you have these type of former members trying to represent the world of people who were abused in relationships. Does this profile picture look like they were being abused? You can't tell from this one shot, but was it all brainwashing? Was some of it their own free will? Remember, they thought they were in paradise, ladies and gentlemen. They thought, in a sense, that they were in paradise. They thought that they were spiritually superior. How? I don't know, but it's difficult to now. I see they're coming out. I see they're trying to tell their story. I see they were given a platform with the T. But what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? If anybody didn't see it, if anybody saw it, I don't know. The videos with these people, Kendra and Aaron, talking about their stuff. Difficult to take. You don't know how to look at it. They're coming off as, all right, they left the cult, they left something, but it really seemed like Nature Boy was pushing them away, still testing their loyalty to him down to the last possible minute. And since, again, they had no way of knowing when he's going to get out, being detached from him physically for this long is all they needed. It's important to know, dude has been in jail before, y'all. Y'all remember that. He's been in jail before. You might be asking yourselves, well, why couldn't they just leave when he was in jail in Nicaragua? Nah, man. They've never gone this long. It's like they need their supply of Nature Boy too. They needed their supply of Nature Boy too, in order for this con to survive. But now it's just interesting how these two people who now seem to like love each other to the end played a pivotal role in a lot of the disciplining of the members, right? Loyal, including Loyal and others. Again, they never left. They were never known to be out here exposing Nature Boy. But out of nowhere, right in the middle of, I guess, a criminal case that, again, I've never heard. I don't know what's going on with Nature Boy's case. But this video comes out. How will the prosecutor, how will the defense use the things that they were saying, right? At one point, TRU was saying he doesn't even blame Nature Boy. It's not about it's bigger than Nature Boy. What do y'all think, ladies and gentlemen? Because he needed structure. What do y'all think about this guy? It's difficult to respect this Aaron and Kendra, thanks to the activities, thanks to who SHEEBA and TRU were. And they are known from the TRU a lot more, a lot deeper, and for a much longer time. The universe is familiar with SHEEBA and TRU for a much longer time. They didn't come there brainwashed. Brainwashing takes some time. And it's interesting that if the backdrop is the beach, if the backdrop where they're being brainwashed is also a place where they call paradise, and if the area, the context of where they're being brainwashed, if they also think that they are relationship, I mean, this takes on a whole other energy when you're worshiping someone, looking up to them as God, and leaving your family, leaving the people who love you just to go live with it. And to then, they were taken care of, y'all. They weren't planning on living in the system in Babylon. It seemed as if the young man, TRU, really didn't really wake up until he saw that recent video by Mama Nine, by 923, where she said, fuck your chief. She said, if this is the kingdom of God, then I prefer hell. It sounded as if TRU ain't really hit him until he heard that song, heard that hip hop track by another member of Carbonation. And this young man, TRU, Aaron said he hadn't even known about really Jim Jones or those other cults. Father Divine, it seemed like he was sort of ignorant of all that stuff. What's up, Malone? What's up, Leonard D. Uda? So I'm thinking, wow, it's difficult, man. I respect when people wake up. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about people getting into that right mindset. But it's tough when all you've seen is SHEEBA and TRU, people who been the most ride or die. They never left. You can't even put them in the same category as Malia. Malia has tried to leave a couple times. These two took the knowledge, accepted the knowledge. SHEEBA was there as pure as a virgin, even as pure as white snow, I guess, in the wintertime without footprints. SHEEBA came in there as a virgin, had a kid there with TRU, but oh man, it's not quite ready to respect fully the Aaron and KENDRA that we're just beginning to meet. Thanks to the SHEEBA and TRU, who we really got a good view of them as willing agents of an antichrist of Nature Boy. And they never exposed them. They always called them demons of all the people who did the exposing. SHEEBA said, KENDRA says she kind of looked at Velvet back then as if everything Nature Boy was saying was true, as if she was mentally off, as if she was crazy. And I bet that drove Velvet crazy back then too, because Velvet could see the games being played. So shout out to Velvet, someone who not only confronted her abuser, but straight up and stole his ass too. Right? This was in his face. This was in person, leaving an abusive cult. This was people like Velvet and rest in peace, Pops Marquez, who were right there, face to face, looking at it in its eye as they were trying to get her to leave. And like we said, she came back. Again, Velvet is another one who has been there and gone back, and been there and gone back, and left. And these people have never done that. SHEEBA and TRU. They've been one of them, I guess, the loyalist. So it's difficult for a lot of people to respect and know this Aaron and KENDRA when all they've been knowing is SHEEBA and TRU. And they've got to understand that for some time now, they have been the cancer cells of the spiritual community. They have been another example of the cancer cells. They have been the spiritual filth of the internet and the conscious community space. they had the filth even come on Sonetter's channel and straight up talked about all this other disgusting stuff, elevating Nature Boy, a gay escort of 10 years, elevating him as their god. You know, some people would say, sure, they can get their soul back. Sure, they can get their spirit back. I don't know. I guess it's all about the journey. No matter what you're trying to do, it's the journey towards it, which is most important. But damn, we're talking about violation of all violations. This is not like your everyday abusive relationship with the young lady working at the strip club. You're dealing with people who were students as well as worshipers of a gay escort who called himself the Messiah, the Christ, y'all. This is some craziness going on here. And they're just waking up out of it and moving towards building their family back again. And I'm just saying, I'm just saying, step by step here, you guys aren't exactly the most brave of all Carbonation members. I mean, you're coming out at a time where it might even be detrimental to Janae's case. Some of the things you're saying, or the state of Georgia's case against Eligio. So this timing of it is kind of weird. You've got people in the chat saying maybe TRU still likes trans women. He beat KENDRA. KENDRA says she didn't get beat by Nature Boy, but there was a moment where this guy TRU or Aaron may have put his hands on KENDRA, but not Nature Boy, because she was very loyal to him. So I guess it was a moment where she was not really loyal or straightforward with TRU. Can you imagine the situation between TRU and SHEEBA? How TRU knew that SHEEBA was also really worshiping this guy, Nature Boy, and how angry it might make TRU at some point that SHEEBA was so respectful of him, but not as respectful of TRU. So he might have put his hands on KENDRA just because of that. And we got Copperman says something still ain't right with those two. Yeah, I've heard some people describe them as cowardly. As it's difficult sort of looking at their exposing of Nature Boy when Nature Boy is already in jail, locked up. Shout out to Janae. Janae also someone who dealt with him directly and she's got these charges of revenge porn, and she exposed him a couple of times, actually. Janae's another one who had left before but came back and gotten with other guys of the conscious community and came back. She's got her story, but at the end of the day, Janae is the one that freed these people. And as we see, the Aaron and KENDRA were not the ones that were out here looking to be freed. Aaron speaks of moments where he noticed things were changing. They speak of moments where they noticed different transitions into more violence. They noticed it, and then they said in their head, something must be wrong in their head. This ain't right. This is not what we came for. But at no point did they ever expose the guy or really openly disagree. They were the ride or die ones. Now sort of coming off as if they're ready to teach about narcissism when they were the main ones as well. So sometimes, you're not sure how to look at these things. Sometimes you're looking at you like, wait a minute, what's really good? What's really going on? This is weird. They're coming out acting as if they should be given some respect for being strong and courageous, but they ain't got to worry about no backlash. They have a child already, They already admitted that they're just beginning to reach the level that we've been this entire time. So it's like maybe some criminal things, some of them trying to. Seems as if Aaron is coming from the angle where, hey, we knew what we were doing. Hey, we were right there. We knew what the consequences were, but we were doing it for our God. And then they bring in the brainwashing, abusive aspect, but then you hear them admitting, yeah, we were doing it because he was our Messiah. Ladies and gentlemen, even in these weird communities, there may be some understood thing where you're worshiping the leader, where you're giving the leader all this deference and respect and honor. You're putting the leader on a pedestal. There's a lot of different environments like that, a lot of different cultures like that, different churches like that. You're not supposed to sleep with that leader and call it your teacher and smack someone. So I don't understand, ladies and gentlemen. They cut a deal with the feds when they picked up Jahumi. Well, if they cut a deal with the feds, they would, would they be out here? Well, I don't know. Yeah, they could all be secret. But I don't know. They don't seem to be ready to testify against Nature Boy with none of that stuff they were talking. I mean, they noticed the violence was escalating, but they also realized as adults that they were playing an active role in it. It seems like KENDRA was saying, hey, it's what we all agreed to. It is what it is. It's what we all agreed to. And there was no surprises, which seems to favor a Nature Boy argument. But as Steph said, I pray that I never be fooled, bamboozled, spellbound, brainwashed, deceived, nor controlled by any human such as they were. There but for the grace of God go I. Yeah, and then some people would say, hey, give these people their grace. Give these people, SHEEBA and TRU, formerly known as, give them their grace. Give them their space to, tell the story, yada, yada, yada. But even Aaron knows, even KENDRA knows that because of what they've already done and what they were representing, they probably deserve all the smoke and probably are looking forward to all the smoke that they can get, because all the smoke that they are given over their participation in this antichrist energy of the universe all spread online, they're going to realize that the pushback is going to be real. The karma is going to be real. Again, this is not something that your everyday people do. Sure, they get an abusive relationship, sure, but they don't get involved with people that they look to as the Messiah, the Christ, and allow certain things like this to go down and play certain antichrist roles with all this cognitive dissonance and this hypocrisy. It's kind of interesting, y'all. I don't know. They talking about be respectful. Be respectful to these antichrist worshipers. You got to understand it's difficult to do that. When you've got people representing the antichrist for 5 years and you expect them to, you're going to try to demand that they're respectful. That alone tells me you're not aware fully of the gravity of who these people were representing and what it is that they were actually doing and how they actually, probably convinced some people to come join Carbonation, people who were probably almost assaulted, if not assaulted, all because of their energy, their willingness to play along, their eagerness to satisfy, right? Whatever it is that their master wanted them to do. But the question is, how did he get them to see him as their master? I don't know. Did he give them drugs? Did he put them under a trance? Or was it the environment? Was it the background? Was it the views online? Who knows what it is? But they were fooled. They were bamboozled. They were deceived. But then they played an active role in deceiving themselves and excusing all of the fuck shit and trying to act as if they don't hear certain things or they don't see certain things. Hear no evil, see no evil, and all that nonsense. They are going public just after former members talked about the son's mistreatment. Mm-hmm. TRU's explanation of taking the passports. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, you can appreciate the platform that they were given to talk their talk, I guess, but part of me felt like they seemed too comfortable up there. Sort of speaking of Nature Boy as this guy who controlled them and all this other stuff, but some people also like to be controlled. Some people actually, very few of them, but still. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. TRU was a witness. Now he's off the list. Golden's dancer says they gets no passes. They gets no passes. That's why it's difficult to respect Aaron and Kendra. It's like, nice to meet you. Good to see you. We got to develop some sort of trust and understanding with you. But thanks to SHEEBA and TRU, it's difficult to see you right now, right? Thanks to SHEEBA and TRU, we can't see Aaron and Kendra yet, right? And then we add to that the gravity of what SHEEBA and TRU were really actually doing. They weren't just joining a gang. This ain't the same. This is on some other level. They aren't just with a group. They went out of their way. Many of people ditching their families. See, that's another thing. You can't relate to what these people did. Ditching their families based on videos they see online. So they ditch them before they even meet the dude in person. Give up all your credit cards, your money, everything. So that's entering into a pimp relationship. Pimp and hoes might be able to relate. You know what I mean? So it's like these people served a certain role. You might as well call TRU, who we now, I guess, know of as Aaron, might as well call him the vice president of carbonation. You might as well call him the military general of carbonation. If you look at the leadership and the structure, he was right up. He was right. Look at the picture. Look at that picture with Nature Boy and TRU right there in the thumbnail. All types of people might end up studying this thing, right? They might end up studying because, again, it seemed to be a mutual relationship. It seemed to be mutually beneficial between the follower, the people, the cult members, and the cult leader. It seemed to be a mutual thing. It seemed to be a mutual thing as opposed to fully them being controlled by Nature Boy. I mean, it depends. What do you think? This code is definitely one for sociological, psychological, and medical. Yeah, and medical. Biological situations, STD type of a theme. But it's difficult, really, when you're looking at Aaron and Kendra, and it's difficult because it's like you got situations where it may have happened on live, where Nature Boy was who? Whipping Jahumi? Is that what was going on? Was that live on camera? It's very interesting because here we are being introduced to Aaron and Kendra again after they put those two to sleep and welcomed SHEEBA and TRU into the picture. So it's like, did SHEEBA and TRU take over and bury Aaron and Kendra for a while? Or did Aaron and Kendra just bury themselves for a while so that SHEEBA and TRU can come live through them? This was an interesting sort of, I don't know, weird sort of sci-fi experiment because they're dealing with bipolar. They're dealing with both of their energies, right? It's Aaron and TRU. It's like the angel on the left and the angel on the right. KENDRA and SHEEBA is like one person, but has the angel on the left and the SHEEBA on the right. So who are these people? We know them as TRU and SHEEBA. Their actions, even if it's not their name, their consciousness and all of that for a long time. And maybe for a long time you're going to get to know Aaron and KENDRA because it seems like they've wakened up and flipped the script a little bit here, especially since Nature Boy is no longer there. It's funny how that seems to be the center of the whole piece because we have the Velvet. We've got the Velvet, and we've got others who are directly confronting this guy in his face. And then you got these stragglers, these carbonation crumbs is what we might call them because they were there as carbonation crumbled and Nature Boy was thrown in jail. These ones who were remaining are called carbonation crumbs. And so that's why it's difficult to get them respect because while they were in carbonation, you couldn't respect them. And now, you know, they're trying to be seen as Aaron and KENDRA. Their reputation is going to precede them. It's like SHEEBA and TRU's reputation as agents of the Antichrist is going to precede Aaron and KENDRA, who would probably like to be seen as agents of love now, maybe more so. It's going to be difficult. Maybe they'll get a book deal or something. Who knows? They were there long enough. They were there long enough. And they're going to have to somehow get their reputation back. You know, in the public opinion, people seem to be loving them and they love their energy. They're glad that they woke up and all this other stuff, but they got to feel good for themselves. And that's going to be the difficult part. You know, looking in the mirror and being okay with what you've been able to come through that carbonation thing. But the fact that they were right there, they need that therapy because they were thriving and probably felt at one point really good to be there, which is very difficult to claim brainwashing and abusive XYZ, but you were very happy to be there. Kendra says she was never smacked by Nature Boy because she was such a good slave. She followed orders. She never spoke back to Nature Boy the way I guess Joy did at one point, the way Velvet did all the time on live. SHEEBA never spoke back. TRU was looking at Nature Boy like, man, this motherfucker, he knows everything. He's the most intelligent man on this earth. And he was there down to the last minute, still giving Nature Boy money while he's in jail. And that's what's interesting about this whole thing, because these people are coming out as Nature Boy's in jail. Just 1 week before he was expecting them to be there when he called to send some to his commissary. He's expecting TRU to stay true. But we'll see how it works out. I just wanted to make this video because there's a lot of treatment, I guess, of Aaron and KENDRA with, you know, appreciation. They're glad they left the cult. But again, it's not the same energy, though. Leaving the cult is more like what Velvet did, and that took some strength. That took some serious courage. What Aaron and KENDRA's doing doesn't take that much courage, per se. But it might be some sort of a trip for them to realize, wow, we were like lying to these people. We were real slaves in real life. Wow. And that's going to mess up their head for some time. But I wanted to come here and do this video. Just make sure y'all doing all right. What's up, Osunyemi? What's up, Steph? What's up, Sunfruit? I'm about to get up out of here. But this is just a video that, hey, after all the interviews, I haven't seen the whole thing on the Views channel yet. But you begin to look at it and you're like, what in the world is going on? The timing of it all, the criminal case. If you saw all of the Views talk with these people, did the View ask a question about the criminal case? Because I think Janae was even up there for a second. But I'm wondering if they ever asked about the criminal case. If they ever asked anything about the criminal case along with these people. Oh, they did? What was the answer, Osunyemi? If the View asked about the criminal case, that's great, especially since Janae was there. But if there was no question asked about the criminal case, then it's sort of like Osunyemi says, somewhat suspicious. We don't know what's going on. There is some sort of a right, unless you all have seen the update. I don't know any update on the criminal case, but they should have some sort of a trial date by now, unless Nature Boy's looking for a lawyer still or some other delay. But I expect that prosecutor to get on her business. But you're not quite ready to respect or understand or really know who Aaron and KENDRA are, thanks to SHEEBA and TRU. Just a reminder of how you got to protect your reputation with everything. And that means really being 100% sure of who you're dealing with and where they're coming from, especially if it's something as serious as, people walking in the truth. And that's why you got to be careful with these cults. And you got to be careful because people are out here searching for the truth, looking for it outside of themselves, and they're bumping into all type of shit. And some people are like, well, no weapon formed against me connection. Well, yeah, Nature Boy was a weapon, and Nature Boy was formed against you. And many people fell victim to that weapon formed against them. But they made it easier because not only was the weapon formed against them, but they allowed that weapon to wield its way in their lives. They allowed that weapon to do what it do. In fact, they wanted to be part of that weapon. They were part of the machine, ladies and gentlemen. Are we kidding ourselves? They were part of the actual machine, the disciplining, the I don't know, the conditioning, right? They were part of it right there, the right-hand man. And it's just weird at the end hearing KENDRA talk about, wait a minute, he doesn't respect me or my baby's father. KENDRA at the end was like, wait a minute, this guy, Nature Boy, doesn't respect me. I think they're talking while Nature Boy is in jail. He called him collect as usual, and he's treating him like shit because that's what they've allowed him to do, to have that authority figure status so he can chump them and bitchify them at any moment. But since they knew he's going to be in jail, they knew he couldn't really do anything. They started to see clearly again. And that's the interesting part right there. That's the interesting part for me, because I am convinced we wouldn't know no Aaron and KENDRA if it weren't for Janae, or if it weren't for Janae. We wouldn't know nothing about no Aaron and KENDRA. Oh no. It would still be all about SHEEBA and all about Master TRU and all about Three God. So it's all about Janae at the moment. Because of Janae, we know Aaron and Kendra. Because of Janae, we know Aaron and Kendra, or we're getting to know Aaron and Kendra. But we're having a difficult time respecting Aaron and Kendra thanks to SHEEBA and TRU and all the things that they do with carbonation, the filthiest cancer cell of a spiritual conscious body of black people. But they were confused. We knew that they were cancer cells. They thought of themselves as the chosen and convicting the elite and all this about the weak. Very mental, gameish, very MKO, very wild because, you know, they were living backwards. It's like when you live backwards, it's evil. That's what they were. Living backwards, it's evil. Thinking that they were one thing, but really acting, performing, behaving almost like the exact opposite. The hypocrites. And and so SHEEBA, that's what SHEEBA and TRU represented. That's what the universe has gotten used to. And now they're bumping into this, the universe is bumping into Aaron and Kendra like, who are these people? The universe is now bumping into Aaron and Kendra like, who are these people? This is SHEEBA and TRU. What is this talk they're talking now? So we'll see where it goes from here. But we just wanted to bring a little sober reality to all this. While some people may celebrate and be like, oh, it takes so much courage. No, we're saying this was the easiest time to leave the cult. We're saying this is the most convenient time, not just to leave the cult, but to, this is the easiest time when he's already gone. It's always been the easiest time for people to leave. When he's in jail, when he's in Nicaragua in jail, easiest time to leave. And leaving is made much easier when you don't think he'll be leaving the jail. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at how a cult fizzles away when its cult leader can't be found or is indisposed of in the moment or is in fact in jail. Right? Because if you're in a gang, people in jail, the gang continues, right? You still go out here and do what you got to do as part of the gang, even though, right, a leader is in jail. There's still an operation there. But in this case, with carbonation, when the leader is in jail, there was nothing there for the followers really. He had the knowledge or whatever, but there was nothing because he didn't empower them at all. They were his slaves. They needed his direction. They've been in an existence without their God. It's felt like hell this entire time. So do they continue riding with Nature Boy while he's in jail, disrespecting them on every call? Or do they ride with, the other side? Go the other route. Go against Nature Boy at a convenient moment when he is in jail and he is facing criminal charges. And that alone doesn't look good when you've got another group of people openly speaking out, at least a little bit, about the violence that they were a part of. But again, they also agreed that they played a role in that violence. They played a role. And I would say a very active, proactive role. Like I said, Kendra and Aaron, these people that we're meeting, military experience and everything, none of them really exposed Nature Boy before this. They never left and came back. Kendra said she had packed her bags a couple of times, but You don't get any credit, any kudos for packing a bag, getting ready to leave. No, 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 no. You get credit for leaving even if you come back because, you know, whatever. Whatever. But I just wanted to come in here today, y'all. These charges, we will see if these charges stick with Nature Boy and what happens. But as it stands right now, it's not quite ready to fully understand and respect and know Aaron and Kendra, thanks to the everything that SHEEBA and TRU did, what SHEEBA and TRU represented, who SHEEBA and TRU was worshiping, right? And the fact that SHEEBA and TRU never would have left if Nature Boy were not in jail. They would still be right there because they saw value in it. They saw a need for his, I guess, leadership, if that's what it is, or protection or direction. And here they are now, finally seeing that they have a spirit that they were repressing, finally realizing that they have a soul that they sold, but they can possibly get it back. Now they finally realizing that they could, begin a life without having him hovering over every step that they take, every move that they make. He be watching them. Oh, can't you see you belong to me? I'm a fool. Her last straw was some charges of her own. And D'Angelo Mark says Kendra couldn't even say what her last straw was. She didn't have one. Her last straw was some charges of her own. Wow. So that's the conclusion. It's difficult, right? We respect Velvet and other members of Carbonation who left in the presence of their former master teacher. Definitely got to give a shout out to those people who left while he was not incarcerated. Because leaving when he's incarcerated and he's treating you like shit over the collect phone call, and he's commanding you to be a Muslim and making you make changes, even though you don't really have to be a good slave because the slave master got caught. Very heavy stuff, very interesting stuff, Agwan. And I want to thank you. Perhaps shame for what happened to them in the cult was part of what kept them there. That they couldn't find the strength to hold their heads up. That's possibly true, but check, you'll see different pictures, and like this profile picture, it looks like, man, they're so happy. That they don't even think about holding their head up for anything. That they're so happy. They're at the beach. They're living the life that they never lived before. Who knows how it's going to be, but I understand if people are finding it very difficult to respect and really get to, stand behind Aaron and Kendra yet, because SHEEBA and TRU were a hot mess. I don't know how many people TRU would, block from his channel and wouldn't really take any comments or whatever. And we know that TRU is a talker. He talks a lot too. They like to hear themselves speak and talk and talk. So I wasn't really going to be sitting there listening too long to him talking, right? Because that's another sort of thing or strength of Nature Boy. Running their mouth. Talking a good game. But being the same old lame. Same old hypocritical lame. Talking a good game. Talking a good spiritual game. But in reality, straight up lames. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. I want to leave this here, something to think about. How about you? Are you having a difficult time to respect this new? They're no longer playing a character, which is what they called it. So their name is Aaron and Kendra. how do you look at who they really are compared to the impact of what they did? Not only an impact to their own spirit, but an impact on the internets all over the world, supporting this trash, promoting and validating the Antichrist for as long as you did, worshiping the Antichrist for as long as you did. It's unbelievable, yo. So I want to leave on that note. Thank you, everyone, very much for coming through here today. This is, of course, your boy Marwan. Thank you, Osun Yemi. Thank you, Sunfruit. Thank you very much. Michael Archie, thank you very much. Robert Powell, of course. Anyone else making a donation there to the Cash App known as Marwan's Mind, thank you very much for all of your support, especially here on this channel, Mind Over Matter. And anyone here, thank you for stopping through, contributing to the chats, giving your thoughts and concerns in the comments after you check the video. But it's very difficult for people to respect fully the Aaron and Kendras of the world when some people, not Mind Over Matter or my folks, but some people have had such a steady diet of lies, misinformation, from SHEEBA and TRU on behalf of the Antichrist. So we understand if it's difficult for you to respect this new version of them because of what their old, recent versions of themselves have contributed to in this spiritual conscious community space, contributed to the cancer cell of it all, while pointing your fingers at others. Ain't that a trip? This is your boy Marwan. Thank you, St. Hudson, Troy Allen. We appreciate you, Just D. Thank you very much for coming through and representing and hanging out. Steph Q, Steffi, thank you very much. Loyalty, Zakai, Chichali, Copper Man, y'all appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all soon, all right? One love. You're lucky just to have just one. So now they have another chance at love. Aaron and Kendra, right? They just got lucky. They had one. They used it and they spent it with the carbonation. They had that. They took that for granted. Hopefully now they can live and celebrate and do it their way, the healthy way. We'll see how it goes. But it looks suspicious. It looks weird. It looks convenient that they're out here, right? Saying whatever they got to say now. Right? Talking about how, you know what I mean? But the dude is in jail. But it is what it is. Peace out, y'all. One love. You're lucky just to have just one.